Hey everybody, welcome back to James Plays Medan. This should be the end here. We've done a run-through of the theatrical cut and the curator's cut now. So all that's left to do is get those last few collectibles, and while we're at it, we'll also get one more alternate ending because we can. Now, when you finish the game, you can then load that save up again and choose a scene to start from. Think of it like you're branching off from that playthrough at a certain point in time to create a new reality or something. It's actually a really useful tool for being able to go back through and get stuff you missed or to experiment with different choices. Until Dawn did something similar, but the problem there, I found, was the game was a lot longer, and the chapter breaks were a lot fewer. There were 10 chapters, and that game was like 10 hours, so it's like an hour a chapter or something like that, you know? So I just don't think it really worked as well there, but then again, for that playthrough, I restarted the game at least a half dozen times, and I ran through multiple playthroughs at the same time. So maybe I'm not the best judge of what's the most efficient use of one's time. Anyway, let's get on into it. This is an alternate timeline of the curator's cut, where Conrad is on the ship, and Brad and Fliss meet up and stick together. So this gets us a section where we're playing through as those other characters that Conrad was running away from, seeing them as the sailor girl.
Conrad! The hell is he doing?
And it gets us access to a handful of collectibles.
Yo, Connie!
Now, you can do this section with just Fliss or just Brad, if your choices lead to that, but we actually do need both of them together to get everything.
Well, that's no good. Shit!
There's actually a good chunk of collectibles in a very small area here, just in this hallway. It's surprising that there's just so much stuff locked behind this small section.
That's Conrad. Something's wrong.
So over here at this desk, get our first collectible.
Huh. Headed to San Francisco?
And it tells us that the Manchurian gold is put on the ship. It doesn't look like the form was filled out. I think that's supposed to be our takeaway from that. Moving on, we have a door right here, but we're going to ignore that and come back in a moment for that. Instead, we're going to go through the open doors on the right first to get a couple of things. Here's some familiar-looking tiles. Unfortunately, nobody's around to tell us what they mean. I'm going to guess death, though. And we get a report about those tiles actually being confiscated from one of the soldiers on the ship.
Right there with you guys.
Not very important, as you can see, it doesn't count as a secret, but it's just one of those things. Next door on the right. We can get in. There we go. Now, this one is an actual secret, and it's talking about... It's an incident report that's talking about some violence that broke out. One last door. This is a laundry or linens room. And again, not an actual secret. Just a little bit more flavor text to kind of give you more of an idea of what things were like on the ship. Before we follow Brad into that room, let's see what the secret ingredient is for Iron Chef tonight.
Oh.
And this is a big area, presumably a captain's quarters of sorts.
There has to be a key around here somewhere.
You think that it might be a big, elaborate thing for finding a key to unlock that safe
Must be the
with, but
captain and his wife.
it's actually not too far away. First, we'll take a look at this picture for no real reason, but, you know, not everything has to be a secret. Sometimes things can just be nice to look at. Moving on into the next room over. And off in the corner here, got some medals to look at.
Ah, hello.
And there is the key.
You open the safe?
It's strange to me how much stuff... I mean, it's not a lot, but it's also not a little when it comes to these collectibles. How much of it you can only get in the curator's cut. I would have thought that, you know,
So the
there might be,
Manchurian gold
like,
is
here's
just
some
a
stuff
bunch
that
of
you
unstable
never would have
chemicals.
figured out in the theatrical playthrough. The curator's cut is, you know, revealing more stuff, but it's not. It's just, it's revealing the same stuff. But, ah well. So yeah, that's just a report about the Manchurian gold. Now we're going back for that door. This door you cannot actually open with just one character. You absolutely need to have both
Hey, come
at
help
this
me with
moment.
Ah.
I guess that dead dude was holding it shut. And in here you might think, oh, there's going to be something really, you know, a huge big deal if you need such specific things to happen. But no, it's actually just our final black framed painting. And there's Conrad falling. So there we go. We've now found all of the white paintings and black paintings. But we have not yet found all the paintings. That will be concluding soon enough. But for now, we'll just continue through this segment and play it out to the end. Chase down Conrad and all that.
Conrad!
Hey man, it's us!
Whoa, 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 it's me. It's Bliss. It's okay.
I found that if you do want him to survive this segment, you want to be reassuring, speak in your calm voice and everything like that, not be too assertive. You don't want to say nothing either. Basically, you want to take every opportunity you can to try and calm him down, because otherwise he will jump at the end and die. It may not seem like it's working, but it does matter.
I don't think I can make it. I'll find a way around.
Okay. Conrad! It's me. It's Bliss.
This is the area where, when we were playing as Conrad, we could hide and then have a keep calm segment. So Conrad is currently hiding right there. Right by that desk.
Conrad! Hey! Stop! Conrad, hey!
Here's a question for those of you watching at home. You have that shared story where you have one person who's playing through essentially the theatrical cut while the other person is playing essentially through the curator's cut. You're playing together, but are you supposed to be communicating? Was the intention of that mode to be that both players are talking to each other while they're playing and communicating what they're seeing, what they're finding? Or was it more meant to be like each person is just keeping to themselves? Because I found that a lot of the shared story playthroughs that I've checked out, being able to communicate with one another about what you were seeing really, really, really made things so clear to the players about what was going on. And I feel like there would have been more tension. And it definitely feels to me like it was more meant to be that the players don't communicate.
Hey! It's okay, it's me.
Like for a section like this, you know, one person's playing as Fliss, the other person's playing as Conrad. You're talking to each other, and, you know, the person playing as Fliss says, "Hey, I'm chasing Conrad." And the person playing Conrad says, "Hey, I see a ghost lady." You know? Everything's figured out, you know?
It's me! Look at me! It's Bliss! You see, it's Bliss!
What are you doing up here?
God damn, you scared the hell out of me. Wow.
Anyway, in case you forgot, we do have a good relationship between the two of them here. So, hooray. Now we are jumping back to the theatrical cut. And this is where they
This has got to lead
just
somewhere.
used the radio.
Maybe we can find a way to get
Now,
the
in
power
this
back.
playthrough,
We need to get
we
that radio
gave
working.
our
I think someone should
coordinates,
wait here in
but
case
we
a
did
message
not
comes
tell them
through.
anything
I gotta be honest,
about the
I don't
ship.
think I'm gonna make it down there in my shape.
I'll go, obviously.
I can do this. I should be the one to go.
And now the next thing that we're
Yeah,
going to be
bro.
doing is we're going to have
I think you might
Alex
deserve a promotion.
go down first
medium
and
bro,
leave
Sam.
Brad behind, instead of having Brad go.
What are you talking about?
You stepped up
It
to the
doesn't
plate.
really matter much for
Put
the
yourself right in
first
the line of fire.
section
Kind of mixing
here,
metaphors.
but for something
Not
that
if the
happens
picture's a
later,
machine gun.
we cannot have
impressed.
Alex be the one that jumps
Seriously.
down. So we have to
So what
get
do you
rid of
think?
him first. It could be sending him down the hole now, or he could be
got
dead.
I got this.
Either way.
I'm not losing you to this fucking ship.
I'm coming too.
Hey, what? Julia, no.
You're not my bodyguard. I can take care of myself.
Whoa, whoa. If Julia says she can handle it, she can handle it. Case closed.
All right. You and me, Julia.
There's
So basically,
472
we've seen
rooms in this room.
what
You can only
happens
name one thing.
in this section
I've
here
been in here way too long.
when Alex jumps down and he encounters Olsen. He calls somebody else
anyone down
down
there?
to join him to go after Olsen and get the distributor cap.
I gotta go after him, don't I?
But the other
we gotta
characters,
go make sure everyone's okay.
when they jump down
Shit.
here, they're going to have a
Well, what's
slightly
our plan?
different section.
You're gonna stay here with the radio. I'll go after them.
We have Conrad,
happens to you?
who is
I'm a
alive
boy.
still this
This is
playthrough.
my mess. and
As
I'll
you
clean
might
it up.
remember from the theatrical
I'll be standing
cut,
by with radio.
we have him on the ship.
Good luck down
He's
there.
going to go down by himself, and the others are going to stay at the radio. Okay, first things first, we're going to just go towards the camera to see if anything is down this way. It's a nice long hallway. Surely there's something at the end. There's a door. Door we can't open. That's all there was. Now, I'm not really sure why this results in a different section compared to when Alex jumps down, because presumably everything should still be happening the same way. Maybe Conrad jumped to a different section or something and just didn't encounter Olsen, or he jumped down at a different point in time. I think that's what it is, because you hear the gunshots when you're still up top. Whereas with the other characters, with Alex, he jumps down and runs into Olsen, and then later you hear the gunshots. Anyway, this is a particularly long trek here. Not too much to actually do or see. But there is the final collectible to get. We just gotta make our way to them. Trying my best to look around everywhere, make sure I don't miss them, because I don't want to have to do this again.
Okay. This is the exact moment where I can definitively state that I hate this fucking place. Even more than I did a minute ago.
Okay, so the stuff I'm looking for, pretty sure it's in the next room. That's the thing, is even when I'm doing these like wrap-up sections and getting stuff I missed, I don't know exactly where they are. I just know, oh, I gotta do a thing. Okay, so we're gonna turn around because we saw that right there. Boom. That's a gold-framed picture. And you might not understand what you just saw, but the name of that painting might give you a hint. It's actually something for the next game. And with that, that is the final painting to find. We've completed that collection. Now I know I'm looking for a lot. Oh, there we are. And this is just a memo telling us that we don't have the caskets for the bodies that we are supposed to bring back. So somebody is going to get stuffed into a child-sized casket because there's really not much of a body to transport back anyway, so it's fine.
Shit.
So aside from those things, now we actually do have a full-on, I guess, like, alternate final chapter here. And now what we're going to do in this section is we're going to lose the distributor cap again. So, to recap, we have alerted the military of our coordinates, but we have not told them the name of the ship. And then we're going to lose the distributor cap so that we're stranded on the ship and wait for the military to pick us up. We hear Olsen just losing his shit.
Stay back! I mean it!
Hey, cool out! Come on! Nobody's gotta get hurt.
So we're having more of a direct confrontation with Olsen, it seems, as opposed to him running away and dying of a heart attack.
Hey, it's cool, man. We're cool.
Let's back off. Let's try to stay out of range of the hammer.
We can talk this out, man. We can bond over how much we hate this boat. Really? So you think that's the best solution here?
We want to make sure that, you know, we have somebody alive to drop that distributor cap. And there's Julia. She's up from somewhere. I can't really explain that. You can't let Olsen get away. We gotta get that distributor cap from him so we can break it proper. There we go. That wasn't deliberate, but we're okay. This is the cargo hold that Fliss was in, that she saw as that ballroom. And so Julia's over in the room with the lever that will close the door. There goes the distributor cap. I'm pretty sure if we tell her to wait, that ruins everything for us. And the game just froze up on me. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, it does that sometimes. Okay, we've squashed Olsen. We saved Conrad. Everybody, all of our characters are alive.
Now that's what I call a close shave.
And the distributor cap got smashed. So now we'll see what happens when the military comes to the ship, but they don't know anything about the ship.
Let me see. Duke of Milan? No engine. Guess that's pretty much the end of it.
Best I can figure out. We got a couple days. Maybe more if we can collect some rainwater.
You know, I was hoping to die with a little more style.
Hey. Hey, what is that?
Hey! Hey! Got a visual. Several civilians on board. I can confirm that the target is a converted military cruiser as described. Jesus, it's just a bunch of kids. I repeat, it's just a bunch of kids. Over to me.
They're actually bringing us in this time. We're actually being rescued, as opposed to just being eliminated to cover things up.
You don't understand, really. I mean, just how crazy it got down there. I mean, just how fucking out of control.
And now we'll get to see all the characters being interviewed by the military
Alex.
to get a report
Wasn't Alex,
about
was
what took
someone
place.
else.
How did they get on the
Because it
ship?
just
What
said
happened?
Alex. And
Why'd
he
you
was
call us?
sneering at me. And the way he looked at me, laughing. He wanted to hurt me.
This ending reminds me a lot of, not really spoilers to say
I
that it
guess you
reminds me
could
a
say
lot
I
of
lived my
Until
greatest
Dawn,
nightmare.
where at the end of the
I was
game,
relentlessly
you get
stalked
these
by a beautiful
little
woman, and all I wanted to do was
sections
run
very
away.
similar to this, with the characters talking about their experience. Not a spoiler. Not a
They're a
spoiler.
bunch of rich, dumb American brats. They had no fucking clue what they were getting into.
That fucker that took our boat, he thought there was gold. He wanted the gold. That's all this was about.
I mean, there are things down there that, you know, they shouldn't have been alive, you know? Kind of things that can make you go insane.
Can I see him, please? I just need to see him.
I mean, hey, I'm no prude. The lady's down, then who might it be picky? But this one, up close, she was, she's not exactly getting the motor running. You know what I mean? You might even say she could melt the rubber off your tires. And not in a good way.
You know, I tried to warn them not to mess with the dead. I tried.
Manchurian gold. Well, that turned out to be quite a bit different than we expected.
Hey! 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 What's going on, man?
Hey! Come on!
As you can see, a very happy ending. So that does it for Medan. We've tried to be very, very thorough here and show off all kinds of fun things to do in the game. Get all the collectibles, all that good stuff. After all has been said and done here, I don't think that this game is bad. I would say it's not as good as Until Dawn in terms of story, but in terms of gameplay, I think there's some good improvements there. You know, I originally considered this to be, you know, just not as good as Until Dawn. That was my takeaway. But now we've got to the end of it, we've done all kinds of stuff. I'm not as harsh on it. I still don't think it's as good as Until Dawn on a whole, but I don't necessarily think it's that bad either. It's like if Until Dawn's an A, Man of Medan is a B, as opposed to like a C or something like that. It's a good game, just maybe not as strong of a story. But I enjoyed my playthrough once I had an understanding of what they were going for. The change in mechanics, things like sections being timed, things like that. And, you know, there actually were quite a few moments there where the choices you make do have a significant impact. You know, the way that your relationships are with the other players, it can really impact, you know, whether somebody lives or dies. The choices you make can impact having totally different scenes for the game. So it's more than I was expecting there. But when it comes to the curator's cut, being like this alternate playthrough, I didn't feel like there was a lot there to really warrant a curator's cut. I think that's more just a side effect of wanting this co-op play, that shared story experience. I don't know, maybe the next game will build off of that a little bit more and create a more unique experience out of the curator's cut. But, you know, if going into the game expecting what I've gotten out of Man of Medan, I'm going to say there's a lot of hope that I will enjoy little hope. Yes. Okay. With that, I will see you all next time. Love ya. Mwah. Bye-bye.